It's Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services. We're at Ad Week in New York City. I have a chance to talk with John Greco, who just moderated a session on the impact and growth of mobile. John, good to see you. Tell us a little bit about the highlights of your session.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be here. We have just launched this past summer the Marketing Impact Council, and we really put this session together. It was actually moderated by Alicia Wiedemann of the Drum Agency, and the council is really focused on breaking down silos, connecting the dots, and really making sure that the kinds of barriers that are there are not going to obstruct people getting the maximum impact from their marketing investment. So at the end of the day, there's lots of great organizations, associations, trade associations, professional societies, focused on one piece of the puzzle. We're unifying it all. We're trying to bring it all together in a way that is channel agnostic, technology agnostic, and data driven, and really focusing on bringing the C-suite together around that.
Very good. Sounds like a very valuable trade group. Tell us about what would be some of the events and some of the key topics that you'll be covering in sessions during the course of the year.
Sure. We'll be focused on what are perceived to be the strategic imperatives of the moment for the organization, right? So what we're realizing is that there's a topic that we've introduced called Big M marketing. And Big M marketing really means getting everybody in the C-suite aligned around the marketing initiatives, right? At the end of the day, the job of marketing, while it's designated to the chief marketing officer or other people with marketing in their title, that job cannot be done effectively, and you can't get the maximum impact out of your marketing investment unless you get the entire C-suite aligned around those initiatives. So whether it's mobile and making mobile first in your strategy, what does that really mean? And what does it require beyond the marketing organization to execute that? Complying to GDPR? What does that really mean to people not just in the marketing department, but other parts of the business who might want to use data that's collected in different ways? And so we're really going to focus on topics like that. Forrester Research just put out a report of the 5 strategic imperatives. I just listed 2 of them. And we'll continue to evolve sessions that are focusing on how does the C-suite tackle those issues, but do it in a way where they are breaking down the silos and unifying and coming together to capture this Big M marketing impact.
Very good, and please talk with John Greco. John, I remember when you were the CEO at the Direct Marketing Association. You've had a long career. Tell us about some of the steps in the path of your career.
Well, sure, Ken. It's interesting. I like to say that I've lived at the intersection of marketing and technology all of my life. I started as an electronic engineer, realized as I was training for that I really didn't want to practice as an engineer. My first job was because I liked the people side and the marketing side and the biz dev side more. But started out with RCA on the Trident missile program, of all things. You can't get more engineering than that. Fortunately, was recruited by AT&T. They put me into their leadership development program. They sent me back to Columbia for my MBA, and I never turned back. Marketing was in my blood from that point forward, but I never lost that underpinning of technology. Led the marketing and sales organizations at various parts of AT&T for many years, and then my career at AT&T culminated with running the consumer laboratory at AT&T Bell Laboratories. Left there for R. Donnelley, the large commercial printer, the largest in the world, and was part of the leadership team at their financial services business unit for a few years, and then was recruited to the trade association chapter of my life. First to run the Yellow Pages Publishers Association, which we then morphed into the local search association as we went digital with the directories. And then was recruited to run the Direct Marketing Association. I was president and CEO there. Stepped down from that position in 2010, and since then have run with my wife and business partner Greco Enterprises. And Greco Enterprises is the business that's behind the Marketing Impact Council. And I just would also like to say that we recognize the fact that in the council, some people will want to participate as individuals, others will want to participate as companies. Because we've got this experience in running associations, we get that, and so we're making that available to people at all levels. not just at the C-suite, even though this first focus is at the C-level. We were executing this in partnership with the C-suite network so that we can roll in some of their value proposition into ours. And really leverage in both directions the value of that for our members. But we're also opening up a sector for the non-C-suite, for people who are aspiring to be in the C-suite in the future, just as I did many, many years ago when I started out at RCA and at AT&T. I looked up and said, how am I ever going to get to the top? You need help in doing that. We're going to try to provide that assistance.
Absolutely. John, just tell us the website so folks who are interested can find more information about the new council.
Certainly. It's www.mktgimpactcouncil.com.
Yeah, that's great. John Greco from Greco Associates. I remember we did a great job with the Direct Marketing Association. And I had an uncle who worked at RCA too when before the in the 1950s, when they were like working for Google or Amazon. Great company at that time, leaders in technology. Glad to see you were there. So from Adweek for CBSI Services, this is Ken Kraetzer.